All right. Been a hot minute. All right, we got Blaze and we got Kelvin already listening in at work, working on a Sunday. Unless you're in the future and it's already Monday. Sunday. All right. We need tunes. There we go. You guys can let me know if it's too quiet, too loud, or what. Still Sunday for Blaze? Oh, and you're off tomorrow, Kelvin. All right. You got one of them weird skills. Playing satisfactory. Let's see. That one's the that's the first person. Oh golly, that's like first person Factorio, isn't it? Isn't that how satisfactory works? And it's Chewy. Jumping right. That is the one. Okay. Cool deal. Like the cat has heard something. I played the Satisfactory demo. I haven't touched it since it went 1.0. Seemed neat, but it didn't quite grab me, but I could be talked into trying it again. Alright. Now, as you can see, we are in PowerPoint because that is where I live for whatever reason. Actually, the reason is it started off as a joke and then kept running with it, and here we are. Way more fun with multiplayer. Well, see, me and my brother tried it, and we were having fun. But man, it seemed like it got really redundant really quick. He liked it a lot more than I did. Playing with two friends. Okay. Alright. Very neat, very. Now, I did that type of game. There's one just called, I think it's shapes.io, that you could play it in the browser totally free. I put probably more time than I could in that one. It's the same concept, it just wasn't first person, but it's, you know, placing all your tracks down, blah, 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 blah. Combine this to make that, to make this, so you can make this other thing, and then yada, 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 yada. Alright. So I just noticed, if I bring the ribbon down, you guys don't see the buttons in the stream. That's very interesting. If I do that, you see it. Okay, okay, so let's put this out there so I can just, somebody comes in and asks what the campaign's about, so I can remember. Well, let's start with regular old tick. Alright, so we have a Weird West setting. And it's going to be using nuts. For those who don't know what nuts is, that's my own silly little system. Now, we ran, I say we, Jacob from Avenue Studios, he ran a one-shot a while back. I'm already getting toasted. He ran a one-shot a while back, and it was supposed to be a Weird West setting. And then everybody's like, oh, well, we're playing nuts, and, you know, it's Scrat, so we have to all be squirrels. So he came up with this goofy idea to justify why all the squirrels were running the place. So it was pretty fun. And everybody's like, man, this would be a really cool campaign. So we've been throwing the ball and ideas back and forth and decided that we're going to do it. I'm going to be the one running it. Use nuts, and we will use pretty much the same setting. I don't think I've changed it much. I went with his same, I used his little intro to the one shot as my prompt. So it's very similar to that. So, using nuts, I should say peanut mode. If that makes any sense to anybody. And then it's also going to be 2 to 3 months. That's the hard part. I don't know how to plan for that. I've done 2 campaigns and they both ran close to 2 years, and that was not a goal. That was not anything I strived for. I just ran it session by session, weekly, making it up as we went. Just kind of how it ended up. So, entirely too long in my opinion. I know campaigns go a lot longer than that. But they want to, because this is going to be on Advent videos. I may stream it too at the same time. I don't know, but they don't need a multi-year project going on. They got other things to do. So they said 2 to 3 months. Yeah, 8 to 12 weeks. Right. So that is the goal. I feel like the music's getting a little loud here. So 2 to 3 months. I don't know how to plan for that. That is the hard part. But we'll see as we get there. I'm still just trying to come up with things for them to do and solidifying some ideas. The setting, like I said, it's going to be Weird West, and we'll say sentient squirrels. That's a good way to explain it. All the other creatures are mostly animal behavior, can be tamed and all that stuff. So like, have some groundhogs and badgers they're using for whatever reason. But the squirrels are the smart one. I have seen your videos on your system. I know what you mean with peanut. Yeah, that's what we've been using for one shots. Is peanut mode though, and since it's a shorter campaign, it'll probably work better. We not set in stone. We may try walnut mode, but that's it. Squirrels are smart ones. This thing called the rot. That's what I've been trying to figure out. So, you know what I should have done? Hang on, let me go get his original. How he introduced his one. Is his. Oh. Because this was there. Ah! Alright. Hate Discord. That's a lie. I hate it all the time. Here we go. Here's a little squirrel to put in the corner. Where? There we go. But I will. Text box. That much. Woo! All of text, and it didn't separate it or nothing. Good job. There. Alright. That was what he originally wrote up. Typos and all. Even put a little outline. Squirrels have inherited the herd. These small but tenacious creatures have adapted to a harsh blah 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 blah. So there is. Yeah, there we go. We got steam engines. So that's important. We got some steam tech going on. Hexes. I don't know what that's all about. Here, present of ancient forces. Actually, I do know what that is all about. So those are important things there. Let's see. Oversized hawks, monstrous rattlesnakes. Blah, blah, blah. There was another. The old mystic arts. Yep. Okay, so in the one shot we did, we were just in this town, and dark sorcery, strange artifacts. Yep, that's something I'm gonna use. Rare rogue inventors. That's actually what's gonna start our adventure. Where did he? There we go. Whispers of a curse known as the rot. That's gonna be the main driver of our campaign here. So in the one shot we did, some rot-infected squirrels attacked this town, and we held them off and everything. You know, it's just a silly, good little time. Howdy, what's up, twice dead mage? Pet the cat. Oh, is the cat still? Currently grooming. Alright. So, on the topic of the rot, Let's see. And I got flopping down some notes. Some weird pictures. Rots all nasty. So what's essentially has happened is the world has ended. One we all knew. People are no more. It is now Squirrel. That would stop. Alright. Something else I want. This was a... Chow, I am thinking... Still burping too, apparently. Idea I had, there was a progression for the... Let's see. Got group 1... easier ways to type. Instead of doing this amount. Got the enrage. They become the or the lost. See what? Still workshopping. So that would be when they become fully consumed, like this little right here. Not just squirrels, it could be anything. Snakes, badgers, whatever. Even the non-sentient creature. So the enraged. I don't have a picture for that. Is when basically kind of going feral. Almost like they got rabies or something, and you start losing patches of want to destroy everything in their path. Don't know what's wrong with them. And then they fully lose themselves. And the Taken got some. So let's do. That pick. Okay. Not to be confused with the movie The Taken. Or Taken. The Taken. Alright. Taken. Get some bullet points. Final. Any spell phase? Being. Final phase. And then. Cool thing. The thing was. Only comes out at night. And then. Yeah. Can be seen during the day, but only in shadow. Ooh. What else was I thinking here? We'll just say very dangerous. These are big bad mamma jammas you don't want to mess with. Can infect others with rot. Alright. The enrage. Had black mixed in with their blood. Yeah. Crazy. Destroy anything and everything. Visual. Normal. Minus the first. Picture for that. Got some teeth. Eh. Claws. Super enraged. Very angry. Alright. Now the other one I had. I kind of like the name. They were going to be the Seduced. Cat. Got another cat trying to. Alright, so you got the Seduced. Now these ones are like kind of sort of semi being controlled by the rot, but they're normal. And it only works for the squirrels, the intelligent. So no outward appearance. I know which there to use. Using them. They're mine. Okay. Because got all kinds of things I'm just throwing at. Same time I'm trying to think of what they can do. I got the opening bit done. Let's see, they have a little small town they start at. Hired to go find artifact magitech thing from the old world. So you know they boop, 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 boop. Here. We'll just say that's the dungeon. EON. Dungeon number. Go back, and then they give that to the guy that hires them. And then he's gonna work on it through the night. Have a barrel or big. And then while that guy's working on that during the night, the rot's gonna attack, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, that's terrible. Gonna kill everybody." Before he dies, he's gonna tell him, "It's like, oh, you gotta go to the big city." I totally have the name for it. Big city. He's gonna have a contact there. Talk to so and so. Find out about these mystics. What was over here? So then they're gonna get attacked by this. The end of it, have a note that goes, "Nothing ever happened." That's terrible. That's a terrible ending. 0 out of 10. Seduced. We got a hotkey for. Yeah, we got the mystics. Ancient squirrel people that had magic. Apparently they had to deal with before. People aren't sure they actually exist. They're a mystery. Fine art here again. a wizard hat. How much of a squirrel is it? Supposed to be a rock or something. Magic squirrels that definitely exist. That's right. Maybe I like give them a tail. That's a terrible tail. Like a tentacle coming out of his butt. Alright. Obviously the player's gotta find. Or gotta find. I'm also thinking it can just be an idea board. Hopefully they, they aren't watching the stream and spoiling all for themselves. What I would like to do is that they can get infected to an extent. I mean, obviously they can die. That's always enough. We will say players can get infected with rot for new ability. Using ability will have major. Ability will also be very strong offensively. So like, basic example, they use it, has a chance to hurt them, blah blah blah. And the more they use it, the more infected they become. Player can become full rot and party has to down. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there's a cat over there bapping some toys. You can see the other cat sees it on town over. Well, that's that. I don't think players could be the mist. I think I'm gonna do, because that's supposed to be a rare thing they have to find. Maybe they'll learn a thing or two from him when they find him. So, then we're gonna have regular bandits. So, let's say this. Y'all can help. Put a dot on there. So, do here, go to their dungeon, they find an artifact, bring the artifact back, guy starts working with it, town gets attacked. Go to the big city to learn more. The guy's like, I've heard about the mystics. Must know something, you gotta figure out how to find a mystic. Go talk to so-and-so. Work. Might not even be able to read this. It's gonna be so. Find contact in big city to learn more about mystics. Then I think party will get attacked by the seduce while at the see, I don't. What are they gonna learn there? I think that one of the seduced are gonna like explode into a full-on rot monster, which will raise a lot of questions. But say, like, I'm trying not to make this too long, but at the same time, I'm trying not to make it too short. Because Because they could just, yeah, go to the big city, and then they're like, oh yeah, mystics, in for mystic, they're here, and you go through some, that's a tree, these are trees. Go to some forest, you find a mystic, you learn how to deal with the rot, then you BBG, right? End of game. That's very short. And if they see, this is like, what do you call that? Big reveal. That's when they start learning all. Oh, this is why this works out. That's where this came from. That's where the rock came from. How it started. What the seduced are all. They actually turn and get converted and yada yada yada. So that's like, call it for what it is. Big reveal / exposition dump. Not to be confused with experience. That is for exposition. Then it's like, all right, then we know where we gotta go, what we gotta do. Obviously, find totally a scope. Crossbow. Hams. Yeah, find troubles along the way. Getting there will be difficult. Then you have the BB fight, and of course that is the end. Whoop. But I am stuff filler right here. Also going to be, I haven't figured this one out. I want to do things with travel. Oh yeah, it takes 3 days to get here, so roll up some random stuff or whatever. Counter along the way. I've never really dealt with travel TTRPGs. Most of my stuff has been one shots, so you know you already start where you need to be. Then in the campaigns I had, the first one, most of the things were where they needed to be, but when there was traveling, it was just like, oh, you're there, you know. Fast forward a week or whatever. We never really dealt with it. And then the second campaign, they could literally just warp everywhere they needed to. You didn't have to worry about it. You gonna go get her? Thinking about it. Also be travel right here, but that's easy. That's just like a day away. So, adore your RPG review videos. Glad to catch you live. Whoa! I got one. I was thinking about doing one for the next video. Decided against it. I think I'll save it for the new year. But it's actually going to be a game I didn't enjoy. But like, you know, I'm not going to sit there and bash it. Try and be like, hey, you know, this part was cool, this was neat, but it was a very crunchy experience that I did not enjoy. So that'll be a challenge. I kind of took Professor Dungeon Master's advice. He said something in a video a good while back. He was like, if I don't like a game, I don't you know, why would I review something I didn't enjoy? That's pretty good. It keeps things positive. But then I was like, well, I got folks that like crunchy stuff watching my channel. I should try something for them every so often. We will see how that goes. It's a new game. Fathom. Spelled like so. Doot, doot, doot. And I don't think it's done. I think it's still in development. Pretty sure. But man, like character creation. But granted, we started very high level, and it was we shouldn't have done that. Blaze says Fathom. What game is it? It's Fathom. It's this one right here. I just wrote on the board. They started us at a very high level, and it was too much for us to digest because there was a lot of mechanics, and the way the character creation worked was interesting, was cool, would have been infinitely better in a video game, but to dump all of that on rookies and newbies that had no idea how the system worked, to like pretty much max level us, it was too much. So it made things very difficult to understand, but they wanted us to try it and experience it, and they were wanting to show it off. But the setting was really cool. That's what I really liked. It's all underwater. I think the world is post-apocalyptic, maybe, but everybody's underwater at this point, and there's a lot of different weird races and nations and things, so it is all pretty cool. Again, would have made a great video game. But getting into the Wild Sea and the Last Caravan as well. We love expanding our RPG horizons. I haven't heard of any of those. The Wild Sea, I'm gonna guess that one has something to do with water. I've been I don't know if you've been watching any Avenue Studios, but I've been working a lot with them and scheduling lots of games to play with them to try out these other RPG systems, so that way I can get to reviewing them faster. Because before I was like, okay, I gotta find it, read it, and then I gotta try and put together random people to play with, and y'all know how that goes. But Avenue Studios was already playing games regularly, so I reached out to them. I was like, hey, you know, turn Saturday into Scratterday, basically. I got all these games I need to try, and a lot of the authors are willing to run games for us, and they were kind of already doing that anyway. So, yeah, we're trying to book one for this month. It was that Dim Day Red one we were supposed to do, and then the poor guy got sick. Like I think we've already filled up January. We got the Magical Land of Yeld in January, and then we got Peter's game. If you've been watching his Tales from Elsewhere, that'll be fun. Another Weird West. Seems like there was Adventurous. Yep, I reviewed Adventurous a long time ago, but the guy who made that is going to run. Got to talking to him after I did that update video. He was like, "Yeah," but he's in New Zealand, so. Time zones a little rough. Trying to line that up. I think that is also. See, we're doing things. We want to try out. I'm gonna do this, but I know what game you're talking about. Ishanikon. I don't even know. World Shapers. I am happy to run a game. Okay, all right. Well, I will keep that in mind. I have looked at your. Well, I told you that guy in the server was really liking your game. He mentioned it a few times. I looked into it. Seems complicated, but maybe. Actually, it kind of seemed like Fathom in the sense that getting started was complicated, but then when you got rolling, oh no. No pun intended on. Get rolling. But it did look neat. It did look neat. Appreciation for what set up. So, all that said. But beginner tags are for. Yeah, that's right. You had that. You had that whole section. Yeah. That was pretty nice. But I will, you know what? We're gonna make it. Avenue Studio. How do you a chain? All right. We got a note. We made a note. Well, wasn't. Maybe I'm thinking something. Did yours go all D6s once you actually started playing? Or am I thinking of something else? That's what Fathom was like. It had so many mechanics. And like, character creation took us hours and hours, but it was all D6s once you actually started playing. I was thinking yours was kind of the similar thing. Once you got going, it wasn't any of this. Alright, take a D20, D12, and then a D4, and then take the square root of 352 and add it by the quadratic formula and stuff. AWS is more about optional complexity. It is a D20 system. Okay. It's starting to come back. Yours is the one that had a bazillion skills. Or like combinations you could make. Maybe I need to make a goal of like 2 crunchy games a year to try. 200 character options, yes. Okay. Or 2,000, yeah. That sounds more like it. Maybe one crunchy game a year. So you can be 2025's crunchy game. But that's good. That you're willing to run a game for us, because I mean, obviously it's nice to have the GM there, because they could explain things and help us make sure we're doing it right and representing it right. But it also takes a massive load off of us, you know, having to plan an adventure and everything like that. I know you reviewed Mouse Ritter. Have you want to play Mouse Guard? So I've had a couple people bring up Mouse Guard. I have looked at Mouse Guard, and it looks very, very fun. I do want to do. Also, the art style for it is. Which, was it a comic first and then it became a game, or was it a game and then they started making a comic for it? I can't remember. But I do want to play it. It looked very cool. Comic then game. Okay, that's what I was thinking. You know, sometimes you look at those games and they have a style to their art, and you can tell where they started from. Actually, that Magical Land of Yeld game we're gonna play in January, if I'm not mistaken, it started off as a webcomic. Kind of grew from there. We're trying different things, and it became a full-on game. It's not a small thing either. It's they just did a Kickstarter. They finished a Kickstarter a few months ago for their 2.0, and it raised like 26,000. They're doing all. I'm excited to play that one. It has some really interesting concepts with like your kids, and you go off into this magical world, but you're kind of fighting the clock. I don't remember how exactly they handle the time, like how you measure that, but the idea is, I think if you turn 18 or 16 or something before you leave that world, you're stuck in it. But you can keep playing. You turn into a monster that's in that world, but you can still run with your party, and on one hand you get stronger, but you also have a lot of drawbacks. From that point forward, you help the party try to get back home. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. And the job and class system was very reminiscent of old school MMOs. If you like, you can join us in GM's Day Off. We are organizing it on Peter's server. Oh, okay. I haven't heard of GM. I'm not even in his server. I have too many servers. I can't keep up with them. I need to be in his, though. We're organizing it on Peter's server. It's basically a bunch of indie TTRPG designers that meet up and run each other's games so that we get to experience them as players. Oh, that's very cool. We want to get started in January. Okay, so you haven't even took off yet. Very cool. That is a good idea, though. Like, kind of a dedicated workspace. So it makes me think of the writing groups I've been in, you know, where everybody comes together, shares a chapter, gets all the feedback. kind of thing. But yeah, you actually get to share your game and get some players. That's cool. But you run the other person's. That's a nice. No pressure with the author there. Judging your every move. Oh. But that's good feedback. Watch how people interpret your rules and run in little tweaks and change everything. Pretty. I like old Peter. He's an alright guy. Alright. Not getting a whole lot done. That's fine. We're just hanging out. Sunday afternoon. We do have regular bandits. Be fun to see Nuts in action. Hey man, there's a few Avenue Studios streams. That Fallout stream was real good. Played a Fallout setting. Nuts. It was just me. I was the DM, and then Dan and Kristen. They were playing, and it's on Avenue Studios channel, not mine. Find it in their live streams. It was a lot of fun. I've run that one shot 3 or 4 or 5 times. I don't know why I ran it so much. Not just me patting myself on the back. Okay. Yeah, so what am I gonna do? Need something to do between the exposition dump and the city. Honestly, I don't even know what's gonna do. Go to a library, and we're trying to research about these. I guess they could get sent on some other quest somewhere. They have to recover something. Actually, I like that. I was thinking the seduced that attacked them, they could have heard what happened up here. But this makes more sense. They're doing something. They're kind of working in the city, going off, and they make a back and forth a couple times. People realize what these goobers are doing. The goobers being the party. Hey, we don't like what you're doing. Then they have a brawl. So we're gonna say side in quotes. Egg is mandatory side quest a thing, or is that just quest? Okay. So what could they do over here? We're just gonna spitball. Find artifacts. Check. Bounties? To earn favor with someone, to learn more information. Earn money for survival. Have you played any games made by Freely? I've never even heard of that. Is that like a group of indie devs that all work under the same umbrella or something? Gonna know what you're gonna make me do? Stream notes. Go down there. Fish. Get Avenue Studios about each. I remember how to spell it without looking. Author will run game. need to check out something called Free League. Waiting to hear what that's about. I feel like there's something else. Alright, find artifacts, go and get some bounties. Somebody happy. Fetch quests, basic. That's always it. Why would somebody... They would be very hesitant to get more artifacts because what killed this whole town, and they know it. Like the guy tells them, like, brought or attracted. Guys might, oh, we have some dealing with. They're a publishing company. They made the Alien art. Hey, I know it. The One Ring, Forbidden Lands, etc. Okay. Well, so you say publishing company, but are they... You're also saying they're making the game, so they're doing both, kind of like Renegade, I think. There's one, they have the Transformers, the G.I. Joe, Power Rangers. Like, they're taking all, you know, the popular 80s IPs, and they're making the and publish. Kind of what Free League is too. Except not all popular IPs. Alien and Ring. Guess that's Lord of the Rings. Might not be though. Speaking of Alien RPG, I hear Mothership. I don't know if it has anything to do with aliens, but Alien Mothership made me think of it. And if you want to watch a very terrible movie from the 80s, speaking of aliens, we watched one last night. Oh, what was it called? Alien from the Deep. Not to be confused with a documentary called Aliens from the Deep, which is about water things. There's a whole 80s horror science fiction movie called Alien from the Deep, and it is so bad. Oh, but it was a treat. It was a fun time. Mothership is good. Okay, man, I hear really good things about it. Even those that don't like horror, which is me. They say there's some really good mechanics in there. Keep you on. I've really been meaning to take a look at it just for myself, not for the channel. See what I could pull from it. Get some ideas. I like the idea of, well, of course I like that. That was the whole, coming here and then getting sent off to do something, which gets the attention. Bad guy. So much info mushed up in those books for real, really good. You talking about Mothership? Is there more than one book? Also, that's how I felt about the Mouse Ritter book. Like, there's just, and I think I even mentioned it in my video review, like, there's just these awesome little golden nuggets of information, and they're so small. They're just like one line. Just really good things to remember about running and handling. Scotty is like that too, with his EZD stuff. EZD6 stuff. Of course, I think that's kind of what he's known for, right? It's just because he's DM Scotty, right? But he's also got advice. I've said it before. I love his little roll anything but a 1 rule. That's so good. I guess it's not a rule. It's just a thing you can do. But, yep, it's several little zine-esque booklets. Okay. That's neat. I didn't know that. I thought Mothership was just one thing. But that's interesting. So let me just add that to the list. Check out Mothership. Also, it has zinc. Alright. Probably only needs to be one. Tension. So I do kind of like the idea of them being asked to go flash magic, because that would feel like they'd be super hesitant to do that, and it would cause some drama because their whole starting town. That would be cool. And then I'd be in trouble if they just all flat out refuse that. That's just the thing I always worry about when planning. Like, what if they just don't do it? I did one time. I ran that Fallout game. It was I didn't stream that one. I was playing with Adventure Manager and was it Nick? It might have been Nick. If you're still in this, Nick, is that you that played the Fallout one shot? And you guys, you went through a little more than half of the one shot, and you got to the situation, and you had this brilliant idea and just nuked the whole facility you were exploring, which was like the right choice to make, but it just ended the adventure early, and technically you won. And I was like, yeah, you just missed out on all the stuff, but that was the smart choice. Oh, I love the idea of a little cowboy squirrel. Oh, do they have mouths? Okay, so please say, I am trying to figure out what they can ride. I was talking with Glee about that last night. They need something to ride. Obviously, they could have a horse, and they could carry hundreds of them. But I don't know if they're gonna like get some lizards of some kind, or like some Komodo dragons, or something. I thought big snakes would be cool, with the idea of like, okay, the snake just was fed, so it's good, safe. It won't try and eat you. It's more easily tamed and controlled. Plus, you don't have to feed it while you're traveling. Hares, I thought about that. I did think about it. Something about a squirrel riding a lizard. Say what? Let's do it. A western cowboy squirrel. Komodo dragon. Ain't it? Dragon. Catch no back. Do it again. One try. I mean, the word. Legs or okay. Look. Look at that. Get that. Jackalope mounts. Onto something. I mean, technically, we got some wiggle room. We can make up a creature, right? Yeah, the lizard. And plus, you know, I'm thinking the lizards because, you know, think of a western. I just think of the desert. So, although it doesn't have to be. Plus, Lee brought up a good point when I was talking about like they can scale a wall stuff, kind of like a squirrel can already. So, well, feature. Or maybe that'd be a reason to get off of them. They have something they can't. He's one of those big lizards in Star Wars, the dewbacks, like real slow and real bulky. Oh, did they even have dewbacks in anything past the original trilogy? Or this one? The video. I didn't click. Oh. Yeah. Big old fat slow lizard in the desert. See? Maybe I've been conditioned by Star Wars. My young impressionable child brain went Star Wars. I like this little cowboy. You done yeed your last haul. Stop suggesting until I restart power. Thank you. That's... But why? Why would dude want... Well, it's a whole city. That's... So... Thinking noises over here. Dude. And get something. Actually, self. Ooh, maybe he's down. Type, does he want to kill? Ha ha, the plot is thickening. Actually, you know, they keep the artifact from... They could just skip that whole side quest and say, oh, here you go, we found it. He wants a specific one. Of course, how would he know what was... Video game logic. I'm fine with video game. Sometimes your players aren't. Well, I need to know why. I need answers. Or realism. Fortunately, very, very fortunate. Avenue Studios is not like that. They're very good people to play with. Could just accept. Keep the dice roll. Hey, speaking of old reviews, what'd y'all think of that last one I did? Grimwood? No. Name of the guy that made it, Grimwood Games. Ironbound, the game. It was actually pretty fun. DZ12, ECD6 kind of. Pretty fun. I enjoyed it. Also, that urban fantasy setting's really cool. I've not been exposed to that until that game. It's just something I've never really considered. Seems like it would be very hard to write urban fantasy. I feel like there's so many things you'd have to watch out for, and that's kind of why I strayed from science fiction in my writing, because there's just so many. Technology is hard to work with. You want somebody to sneak in somewhere, especially if it's a few cameras everywhere, all the data's being recorded, every door that's ever, it's like you have to hand wave some things away, and that bothered me. So, I can't imagine having magic and all that technology. Oh, it's Cafe Crayon. What's up, man? How's it going? We're currently racking the squirrel's brain over here. We're slowly getting it. Just they're buried. Buried under all the nuts, I guess. Trying. 2 of my players got knocked out. Third one is fleeing for his life where we had to end the session. About a cliffhanger. Yeah, man, my goodness. Moment there when I was reading that, I thought they got knocked out in real life, or like you had to knock them out of the game or something. They're just fleeing for his life. Well, they can think about it all week till the next session, or 2 weeks, depending how often you guys play. I think if I ever had any big nasty cliffhangers, I feel like it happened a few times. Just nothing ever wanted to end on a good spot. I think we ended one game right before the BBEG fight was going to start, because I was like, I don't want to get caught in the middle of this and have games. So. Oh. We have the question floating. Dude. Artifact. Does it even matter? It probably doesn't. You could just be greedy. Is douched. You know? Of course, they could use. Would they use the part? Go find. Really raining outside. Dude being the one sending the party to quest, I take it. So the quest has already started. Oh gosh, under my mouse. Get my pointer up here. Start up here in a little town, little homely town, and they get asked to go find an artifact over here in the first dungeon. They bring it back, and the big nasties of this campaign are attracted to the artifacts, the magics, old magic tech when it gets used. So when they bring it back, the guy that hired them starts working on it, during the night. It pulls the big nasties in, have a fight, the whole town gets wiped out. Big sad, yada yada. But dude tells them to their way on down the big city to learn more. I think this is what's going to happen. To learn more about this ancient people called the Mystics. Try and find them and gives them. Maybe he'll give them a contact. I don't know. That will be Dude. The Dude. And Dude's going to be like, well, you got to do me a favor. Because this is game. You got to pad runtime. So he's going to send them to find another artifact and bring it back. And I think Dude might actually be a bad guy. But that would make it look like the first guy set them up. Maybe he could just be a shady individual. But the seduced could be what? Because I feel like if the seduced wanted to kill the mystics, any of them that were remaining, they would let the party find them instead of killing the party right. Then I wouldn't have anything to do. That's not. Ran out of music. Oh. The reason I have this square here is because I needed some content. Content needed. Something to do. Before they had the big reveal, find the mystic, and it's like, oh yes, here's how everything works. All makes sense now. Exposition dump. That's how we came up with this little quest. I say side quest. It's mandatory. Side main quest. Main side quest. Ooh. If while they were exploring another dungeon effect, they about the a hint, a clue, a vision, and then that leads back. Maybe? But again, I feel like they would want to see, because the seduced are supposed to be the smarter one, more in control one. They would want to follow. Can't draw. They would want to follow. See where they, yeah, to find the mystic, kill the mystic. Mystic, big threat to them. But depending on what they learn here, might be too dangerous to let them. That's when it could kill. Yeah. That's an option. Yeah, I gotta turn the writing brain. Get the GM brain. It's okay to have convenience and contrivance or whatever. Plot convenience in your TTRPG. At least I think so. So if something needs to happen magically at the right time, that's fine. That's perfect. You know, I feel like I've mentioned. I remember hanging outside. I remember an editor saying that if they get anything across their table, and it is defined as, I got this story from the campaign I ran. It goes right to the bin, right to the trash. They don't even bother reading it. Could the dude be interested in artifacts because they attract the seduced? They killed the dude's wife. Okay, so if the dude ends up being a bad guy, no, you're on the right track. I like that. That actually makes sense because the artifacts, when they're used, do attract the rot, the bad guys, and the seduced. That's exactly what they're doing. Nobody knows they're actually part of the bad guys, so they would want people in cities using this magitech and everything. So that is absolutely why he would want them to go get another artifact, because that just works for him. So yeah, if he was part of the Deuce, that would make sense. That would jive. That makes. It wouldn't be for the party specifically. Just like, oh hey, I'm just gonna get a bonus brownie point at more magitech here to worse for the city I'm already trying to run. So that checks out. I do like the idea of him trying to use the party, and then the party learns. What? Party learns something they aren't supposed to. Stick. There's more. Maybe. Got the mystics, which makes the seduce. But Windows 11 ain't great. Okay, so that happened at the city, or would they? Right. Check this out. So, chain of events. Party returns with relic, artifact, whatever. Party. Of course, this depends on the party playing along. But party reveals the learned something. A mystic while dungeon diving. Dude. Then tells the other seduced, which leads to an attack on the party at the end. Or somewhere. Now, the party does reveal that, like, hey, you know, while we were down there, we learned about this other thing. But I feel like they would, if the guy was promising to tell them something about Mystic. Makes sense. Where do they go from there? And what would they learn? If they get attacked. Remember, these will seem like normal people. And while they're fighting, they will realize there's black goo in their blood, and then they may mutate to one of these gnarly creatures right here. Like, well, that's not cool. Not normal. I feel like there should be a mystic in the town posing the crazy old guy. Barrier tells him, "Oh yeah, should go to the forest." No, all that nonsense. Then they get there and find out Mystic is, totally normal, not crazy old man. He was just playing it up. It's an option. Of course, maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Maybe the big content drop doesn't need to be here. It needs after they get the big review. Town, city. Here's your call to action. Introductory quest. Bad things happen. You're like, oh, hello. Go to the big city. Find out there's a lot of weird things happening. Well, geez, everything's so confusing, isn't it? Find the mystic. Have some weird forest shenanigans, magic-y stuff. Cool, spooky, pretty, all that good stuff. And then they get the exposition done. Then they just have a lot of dangerous times to get through to get to the BG. I kind of makes sense. That way they don't say they don't stay too confused for too long. I like that approach. But that does still leave the question: do we put the heart of the rot? Could be very hard to get to. I was kind of how that's gonna, and that could take a couple sessions. So like, excuse me, I have what, 8 to 12 sessions. So think about this. That's definitely probably gonna take a whole session just to get through the dungeon, the first dungeon. We only play 2 to 3 hours. That's one session. Then you combine the start and then probably with the accident that happens here after they come back, like that will be 2 sessions. Depending on how traveling. Haven't figured that one. A whole session just traveling? I feel like that would be, unless they just super got into the roleplay thing. Good time. Opposed to. Makes my life easier. City. I can see a session getting lost trying to dig up some information and figuring out where to go, and then getting to another dungeon, which is what is that, 5 sessions? You know what? Eat up sessions, really. Man, I got no idea how to plan for a time limit. Like, I can't even figure out how to, when I make one shots, it's like, oh yeah, 2 hours or 3 hours. It's like, okay, I don't know how to do that. When I make a map, it's like, man, I feel like we could breeze through this in 10 minutes, and 3 hours later, we're still doing it. That might. Jeez. I think we need one thing. Need one right here. Then we'll go. Well, like the boss player. We know how to do. That was a TBG castle dungeon thing. That'll be hard to get through. Then it'll be. That could eat up a couple sessions. For what I have in mind, the territory they have to go to get to TBG. It's gonna be rough. But I still need something. This is just all danger. Something not dangerous. After they've got the big review position. Kind of a way for them to. Okay, you know what? There should be the town of options. Small town. That looks like an H. And this is where they can buy stuff. Like that. So depending on how much time we have sunk into this campaign, this is where I can add quests for them to go on and do. Optional things to earn some more money, buy some more equipment, level up before the big bad end. Of course, it would make more. All your good equipment would be here in the big city. So, Mystic will probably buff them up. But they get basic supplies. Ocean. Beef jerky. And if somebody uses the item skill, which I think they're able to play, one person definitely that skill, so they will need cooking supply. How they're gonna run. But I still because realize the BBEG, and I really hope they're not watching this because this is going to be a major spoiler. The rot is basically, and the BBEG is the heart of it, and I want them to have choices, like moral decisions they have to make along the way, and depending on which way they lean, that will either buff or debuff the BBEG. I feel like there could be some moral dilemmas along the way here. Roll. The dilemma. I have 2 L's. So they need a way to make choices, and I don't. I guess it could be based on how they use the Magitech artifacts that they come across. They try to use it, push for it, they'll make BG stronger, maybe. That just makes the rot stronger, which is the BBG. I really wanted it to be tied to visions. And obviously they wouldn't know it. I guess I could just see how they act. Rude shopkeepers or something. But I would like some. Oh. that can... When they're traveling, like from here to here, here to here, you know, all their travel time, maybe that's when they can roll up random world delivery. Maybe. They come across things. Little old lady trying to cross the street kind of thing. Do you help her or do you keep on? Or do you shoot her and take all her money? That's a little extreme, but you get the idea. Alright. Quick ways to get those in. Up. Gotta go. Good luck with all that. Probably a little hard to follow, but see you later, cafe. Don't eat all the crayons. Work. So let me get a running tally. See how badly I asked this. That is. A much smaller. Alright, so if we do what we say, the dungeon is 1. That's good. Let me just. Dungeon was 1, and then we'll say from here, traveling, the beginning, heck, we'll add up to big city before they take side quest. Maybe 1. The side quest will be 1. Won't take. Skip that. Just to see. Leave 2. And then this. Deal, that is definitely a worse than getting. All this shenanigan is at the very least one. Getting through the BBG area one. The wrap up with the BB. That's 5, 6, 7, 8 minimum. Okay, so I think just gotta connect the pieces. Oh, geez. I like that though. I did not realize how fast that would add up. Of course, I could be wrong, and we could just through that in like 3 weeks. Which isn't the end of the world. Doing a extended one shot. But if that pans out, if I'm estimating that time right, then I'm running on the, which makes that's usually a run. Don't try to. Just the way it always. Anyhow. Darn me. Not player characters. Characters for them to hide them. Yada yada. The snaky shanty. Yeah. So. I have a to-do over here. Need NPCs. Rot abilities. items. Let's do special magical. Hey, that is not. You love this song? It's a good one. The Snaky Shanty from Donkey Kong Country 2, I believe. Hey, I don't like it. Yeah. Yep. Specials, magic, item eater items. I know what these. Abilities. Maps, but that'll come later. Name tech. This is also a very good one. Full breeze. Hey, Donkey Kong Country 1 and 2 just had fantastic soundtrack. Guys went a lot harder than they had to. I'm here. Well, let's see. You guys have any character? Maybe I should start a little poll thing. That'd be fun. I think I'm too far along to do this though, because I think we're trying to get it running fairly soon. Would have been interesting though. Do a bunch of streams where the chat helped make NPCs and items and everything, and that'd have been a lot of fun. Board threads, community posts. Let's just do Cowboys. Didn't have to be riding it. Yeah. This guy. Chillin' dude. What's going on right there, but more of that. Well, that revolver for him. I think I got enough to go on. Keep me busy. Think. Start finding puzzle pieces. This is still kind of a. We know it needs to be. We're very much not a pantser. I think that's what they call it. Right by the seat of your pants. So what if we do a round of deep rock? How about that? Even how they did yes, change the way I put that there. And I can't. Yeah, they really butchered the way text works. Background. There it is. Yeah, we'll put that there. Nah, never. Not gonna do it. I lied. Did I just kill the whole thing? I might have. Maybe it picked right back up where I left off. Oh, I meant to hide the text and I just hit the stop streaming button. Oh. Hopefully it didn't like announce I'm streaming. It looks like it kept going. Y'all's feed might have just gone black for a second. Anyway, I think I'm gonna leave it there because it's just kind of, it's not all monotonous work, but I don't have much direction. The rest of it. Maybe I'll do this again when I figure out, like, okay, I gotta make all these NPCs, I gotta make these items, we can be a little more organized and structured. Right now, I need Galaxy Pin. This part needs some ironing out. But as far as everything else goes, chain of event, that works. That is gonna, and then the travel system. I gotta come up with a travel system. I would like to make the traveling interesting, since it's, you know, Western traveling's hard. I'd like to make that more engaging, other than just you're here or roll random event. So that'll work on that. Other than that, it is shaping up. I think it's gonna be all right. We don't have a set time for this to start, thank goodness, but I feel like they do want to hit start it pretty soon. But the thing is, they are currently doing a DC-20 campaign, I think. So I do think it is coming to a close. I think they're getting to the end of that, if they haven't already. But Avenue Studios also joined another campaign. It's not on their channel. Moonface or something like that. I forget what it's called. And they're trying, the campaign streaming they're doing is to raise money to pay for the art. Or I guess, I thought it was Starfinder. I guess maybe they're making a module for it or something. Anyway, they're trying to raise art money. So, you know, they only got so much time. I don't know when they're planning on squeezing this. Gotta reach out to them, but I don't want to just sit here and sit on it for too long and then they get all booked up. But I also don't want to be like, hey, let's start on this date, and then I don't have it ready to go. So I guess stay tuned for that. We'll figure it out. But dude, yeah, I got plenty to do now on top of making videos and writing books and everything else I try to do. So I think that's good. It's good for now. It's a hot mess. You can see how the squirrel attempts to work, but assuming I didn't just kick everybody off earlier by accident, I guess I will see y'all next time. Not this not this Thursday. Next Thursday, when the next video drops. It's gonna be my silly end of the year video. It's gonna be about Squirrel Disc, so be looking forward to that. Watch the holiday one if you haven't already, and I will either see you next stream, next Avenue Studio stream, or next Squirrel video.